you wake before the sun, not because you are rested, but because today you may be summoned. It is 1497, Milan, and the mural in the refectory of Santa Maria del Grazie is still unfinished. The Duke is growing impatient. The Prior is furious. And you are Leonardo da Vinci. Light spills through the narrow window. Your workshop smells of oil, chalk, damp wood, and crushed minerals. Salai is already awake, grinding vermilion in a mortar. Boltrafio prepares the egg tempera mixture. Marco Doggiono arranges brushes of squirrel hair. You say nothing. You flip through yesterday's sketches, hands, expressions, the tilt of a head in shock. You are not painting men. You are painting the exact second after Christ says, "One of you will betray me." The moment before chaos erupts, you stand. Today you must resolve. Judas Milan hums awake. Merchants open stalls. Carts roll over stone. You pass soldiers bearing Sforza colors. You remember who pays for this wall. Ludovico Sforza, the Duke of Milan. Powerful, ambitious, impatient. You arrive at the convent. The refectory doors open, and the prior is already waiting. "Maestro," he says tightly. "You stood for hours yesterday without painting. You do not answer immediately. You look at the wall, at the apostles suspended mid-reaction. You finally say, 'A thought must be correct before the hand moves.' The prior exhales sharply. The Duke expects progress. You climb the scaffold without responding. The wall towers above you, over 4 meters high, nearly 9 meters wide. This is no canvas. This is architecture. You step onto the upper platform. Light pours from the high windows. You study Judas's face. He cannot be a monster. He must be human, close enough to Christ to feel real, yet already separated. You raise your brush, then stop, still thinking. Below, the prior mutters to a monk. He wastes time staring, but you are not staring. You are solving geometry of emotion. You are not using true fresco. True fresco requires painting onto wet plaster. When it dries, the pigment fuses into the wall. Durable, proven safe, but fast. Too fast. You must finish each section before the plaster dries. No revisions, no layered glazing, no subtle tonal corrections, and you cannot accept that. So you chose something radical, tempera on dry plaster. You mix pigments with egg yolk, sometimes additional binders, then apply them onto a fully dried gesso surface. The advantage, you can return tomorrow and the next day. Add glazes, refine shadows, deepen expression. You gain control, detail, psychological depth. But the disadvantage, the paint sits on the surface. It does not chemically bond into the wall. Humidity, kitchen steam from the refectory, Milan's damp air, all of it works against you. If adhesion fails, the painting will crack, peel, decay. You know this. You accept it. You choose precision over permanence, and that decision may cost you everything. A messenger enters, wearing Sforza colors. He does not climb the scaffold, but he looks up. The Duke requests visible progress. You climb down, face him calmly. Tell His Excellency that greatness is not rushed. The messenger studies the mural. He nods slowly, but the warning is clear. Funding is not infinite. Favor is not permanent. You return to the scaffold as you apply a thin glaze to Judas' cloak. A dark patch forms unevenly. The pigment does not settle properly. Your assistants freeze. You touch the surface. It feels slightly resistant. The binder mixture was imperfect. You scrape the section carefully. Redo it. Adjust proportions. Wait, apply again. This time it holds. But the wall has warned you. Innovation has consequences. Later, when pressed again by the prior, you reply with controlled humor. You say you are searching the streets of Milan for the perfect face of Judas, and if you cannot find one, you may use his. The Duke reportedly laughed when told this. The prior did not, but you bought time. Time is all you ever wanted. You step back, look at the composition. Christ at the center. Calm still, all perspective lines converging behind his head. The apostles grouped in threes. Shock spreads outward like a ripple. Thomas, finger rising, Peter leaning forward, John collapsing inward. It is choreography, it is mathematics, it is theology expressed in geometry. This is not decoration, it is narrative frozen in motion. You leave as light fades. Back in your workshop, you light a candle, open your notebook. You sketch a shoulder muscle. You study tension in a clenched hand. You note how surprise lifts the eyebrow asymmetrically. You are not finished with the wall. The wall follows you home. If you had chosen safety, the mural would likely endure better, but it would not breathe like this. Not with these glazes, not with this depth of shadow. Technically, your method was flawed. Within decades, deterioration began. Observers in the 16th century already noted damage. Humidity attacked the surface. Paint flaked. Restorations followed, layer upon layer across centuries. So, was it a mistake? From an engineering standpoint, yes. From an artistic standpoint, it was revolutionary. You sacrificed durability for psychological realism, and paradoxically though, the surface decayed, the image became immortal. You sit in silence, candle flickering, hands stained in pigment. You understand something few dare to accept. Innovation always risks failure. But without risk, there is no leap. The Duke wants completion. The Prior wants speed. History wants endurance. But you want truth in a single human reaction. Tomorrow, you will return to the wall. Tomorrow, you will risk it again. Because perfection is not a destination. It is a pursuit that never grants peace. You close your notebook, blow out the candle, and wonder, will this wall survive time? Or will time test your gamble? Subscribe to continue the journey across time and minds.